when the facility broke him to ride, they didn't want to put any more money or time into him than what they needed to recover their money. So I think he probably was kind of cowboy broke and not really given the time for his mind to really catch on to what they were doing. I think they physically made him basically get broke to be ridden, but his mind wasn't there. So what I'm going to do to start with, so this horse I'm working now, his name is Tucker, and he just came to me. And the story with him is the owner said that he's cold backed. They said that he is, I believe, 4 years old, and they can ride him if they lunge him first, but if they don't lunge him first, they said he'll buck. I got a little bit more information about his story, and supposedly what his story is, he was at a boarding facility out west somewhere, I think Texas, but I'm not sure, as an unbroke young horse, 2-3-year-old, I'm not really sure, as an unbroke horse, and whoever had him quit paying the board. So the facility, to try to recoup their money, broke him to ride and then sold him. Now the person that owns him says he's cold back. I want to saddle him and bridle him, and I want to see how he acts, see what reaction he gives me, and that's going to make a determination as to how I proceed from there. When I am starting a young horse or saddling a horse like him that's either hasn't been saddled much or saddling might be an issue, and I do it out here in the round pen, I'm always going to bridle them first. That's something that I've learned in the past, that if I bridle first, the saddling actually comes a lot easier. So this is just a plain smooth ring snaffle. Make sure it's adjusted right for him, and you see I put it on over the halter because I'm going to be using the halter. I pretty much just want him to carry the bit, just carry the bridle. Everything I'm going to do is going to be off of the halter, but I want him to just carry the bit. I've noticed over the years that I've worked horses, young horses, by bridling them first, their mind change. It does something psychological to them that makes the saddling and everything go better, work better. It's kind of like putting the bit on, told his brain, okay, we're going to do something, without putting the saddle on and overloading his brain. So now he has the bit, he has a work tool on, basically he's getting his work clothes on, he has his mind going in that direction. So now I'm going to throw the pad up there a couple of times, and we're going to see how he takes it. I want to watch his ears, I want to watch his body. His ears didn't really do too much. He didn't seem too worried, but he moved his feet forward. So what I want to do, I want to work on his mind. They said they were riding him, and after they rode him through the cold back, he rode okay. However, he was cold back in the beginning. Typically, the key to cold back is to get the mind in the mindset that work is going to happen. Give them a chance to understand that work is going to happen before you actually put them to work. The cold back is usually caused from overwhelming the mind and not giving the horse a chance to understand what's coming. So now I threw that up a couple times on both sides. He's wanting to stand now. Even walking away, he stood. I think this horse is showing me some things that he had an okay start. Maybe they just didn't put the time into it for the mind to really get started right. And like the body maybe has started, he knows the motions to go through, but it doesn't seem like his mind is quite broke. See what he does over here. I'm gonna ask him to stand still, show him what I want, but I'm not gonna force him to stand still. There's a fine line between not standing still because he's scared and not standing still because he don't want to. I'll rub the saddle on him, try to get him to where he's not worried about it. See how I have the lead line draped over my arm? That way I can grab it if I need to. Good boy. Good boy. I'm not going to be in any huge hurry to girth the saddle up. Like I had said before, I think that his mind was not given the chance to understand what was happening. So I want to make sure I give his mind a chance to take things in. I could probably drop back and do some sacking out, but I don't think that is this horse's problem. I think this horse has some stress about the saddle. So I want to work on making that stress go away about the saddle. Good boy. Now let's do it again. This is not how I would start a horse that I was breaking to ride the first time. There are a lot of other steps that I would do. I'm skipping some of those steps for him because those steps are not productive for what he needs. This horse needs to be restarted, but he needs to be restarted working on the things that he needs to work on. So now right here, he's walking away from me. He's telling me he don't want to saddle, but I'm just pulling his head to me. The lead rope is still drooped around my arm. I'm giving his mind a chance to take in what's happening without him avoiding saddling completely by just walking away. I'm not putting any more pressure on him, not taking any pressure away. This saddle right here is the pressure that's making him move. I'm going to let the saddle touch him as he's walking around. I got a pretty short lead rope. Now he stopped and smelled the saddle. That was good. Put the saddle down and pet on him. No different than if I was working with a plastic bag or a lunge whip or anything else, any other spooky object. It's the exact same way. To him, this saddle is the spooky object that we need to work. I added the pressure, he moved his feet got still, I took the pressure away. go back and we'll do it again. I don't mind that he looks at the saddle. I want him to know that it's there. I want him to accept it. I'm not going to hide it from him. I'm going to be gentle with it because he's afraid of it. But on the other hand, I'm not going to be so gentle that I give him a reason to worry about it. Let's go ahead and drop the stirrup down, drop the girth down. Good boy. Good boy. At this point, I'm not going to stand right in front of him. If he was to spook and lunge forward or jump forward, I don't want to be in front of him. I don't want to stand there. I want him to take the saddle in. Understand that it's there and it's not hurting him. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And take it back away. Good boy. We're going to walk away. He just experienced that saddle on his back. It didn't eat him. He didn't die. It was a good experience. Walk away. The experience is over. We're going to go back and do it again. I think this is the part that was skipped when he was originally started. That he wasn't given the chance to mentally understand what the saddle was. My guess was, and it's just guess, I have no idea, is they got it on him by whatever means they could. Let him buck it out, climbed on him. Now what I'm after today, see right now he's trying to keep the saddle on his right eye. We're going to go to the left eye. The left eye, the left side is where I set it up there. By keeping the saddle in his right eye, that's his way of avoiding the saddle. Good boy. Good boy. I'm gradually going to start being less careful. And today I probably won't even girth the saddle up. I'm not going to girth the saddle up until he is okay with the saddle being up there. We're getting there. Much better than it was. See if he walks when I pull the saddle off, or if he stands still. Good boy. Good boy. Good job. Pat him where the saddle was, rub on him. You saw in the beginning when I first started all this, I didn't bring a brush out here to brush him. I run my hand all over him. At this point, I'm not going to get on him and ride him. I know I'm not going to. And there may end up being some dirt under the pad, throwing it up and down so many times. At this point, that's not what's important. Not worried about the pad having dirt on it and rubbing him, because that's not going to happen because of what I'm doing. The more important thing is that he feels my hands all over him. I just had this scary object on him, all over his back, He was worried about it. Now I'm rubbing it away. I can feel how tight or hard his muscles are. His muscles are pretty relaxed, which is a good sign. That's what I wanted to see. If I'm brushing on him, I'm not going to feel what his body's doing like I'm feeling it with my hand. The other thing this is doing is I'm moving around. He's getting more comfortable with me. What I do, my mannerisms, my movements. He's learning me just like I'm learning him. He's learning that he can trust me, and that when I put that saddle on, it's not going to hurt. See right there, he just tried to keep me on his right side. Let's walk around and see if he does that again. That's a big thing to take note of. I'm kind of in front. I'm not really asking him to lead up here like you would normally lead a horse. I do that on purpose because I want to see which eye he picks. Now he's over here. Now he's got me on his left eye. That's a big deal because the left side is where I keep setting that saddle up there. If he kept giving me his right eye, then that would mean that he's trying to keep me on that side to avoid the saddle. By him giving me the left eye, he's getting more comfortable with what I'm doing on the left side of his body. Big thing to take note of. That's why I lead the way I do. Everything that I do has a purpose. The purpose is all specific to the horses that I work. Even though it might not be what is generally accepted as what is right, just like how I was just leading him. That's not how you would typically lead a horse, but I do it that way because I want to see what he tells me when I lead him that way. I just had this saddle cleaned a couple weeks ago. See his eyes get big, push out away. Kind of came at him a little bit different. Now see he's giving me the right eye. Watch him with it. Walking away, I'm gonna do the same thing I did a minute ago. Give him a chance. Good boy. Now set it up there. You notice I put the stirrup up and I folded the back girth and the front girth inside the stirrup so that when I set it up there, nothing would flop down and hit him. I'll turn him around so you can see how I did that. Like I said, every little thing that I do has a purpose. See how the front girth and the back girth is folded up inside the stirrup. Stirrup's hooked on the horn. That way I know that when I set that saddle up there, nothing is going to fall down and hit him on the side. Now I'll take it down. However gently or abruptly I want it to come down, depending on what his mind tells me. Good boy. Good boy. Let's walk again. Left eye, he willingly gave me the left eye, which is good. And I'll take it down. Oh, before I take it down, I'll put the stirrup up so that it's ready to put on next time. Now I'll take it down. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give him a few minutes break. He's had that saddle on him a couple times. He accepted it good, but I don't want to go ahead and girth it up at this point. That would be the next step. I don't want to tighten the girth yet because I want him more comfortable with the saddle. I want to make sure he's okay with it before I tighten the girth. And there's actually a couple things I'm going to do with him before I tighten the girth to get him ready for that pressure. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the lead rope off of him. I will leave the halter and the bridle on. And I'll just turn him loose, and I'm going to leave this in here so that he can come smell it, look at it, see what it's all about. And I'll come back and I'll work him again a couple of times throughout the day and work on getting his confidence. I think so far he hasn't shown me anything that I think is a problem. He just seems like he needs a little remedial work. This is Tucker. I don't remember if I said his name in the beginning. And I'll have some more videos out of him and show you his progress while he's here. I think we can bring him along and make a nice horse out of him.